Welcome back to the Red Zone. Coach and I are now joined by offensive wide receiver Joe Antonacci. And the Cardinal season was filled with big wins, but even bigger plays in all phases of the game. Coach, let's start with one of those phases people rarely talk about, the special teams. This team had a bunch of big plays on special teams throughout the year, am I right?
They did, and Joe had two gigantic plays just last Saturday in the playoff game, and the one that probably would have made the difference in the whole ballgame ends up getting called back, and that was a heartbreaker, you know. But you have to overcome those things, which we did for a long time. But by the time it got to the very end, we couldn't keep overcoming enough things that were going wrong. But we love special teams. I love to coach them, and you know, having guys like Joe the last 2 years, he's been doing a lot more than 2 years. He's been on tons of special teams, made great plays year after year, and it is really fun. But we love punt return, and we love kickoff return.
And Joe, you were one of those special return men. How important is it to swing the momentum of a game on special teams when you guys get those big plays?
Well, I think that's what made the difference in our Whitewater game. Coach alludes to it a lot. You know, we couldn't get any field position going. And now the first half of Wabash, we had a ton of field position. And then it kind of shifted a little bit towards the second half. And it makes a huge difference. You know, when you have a short field as an offense, your odds of scoring go way up.
What's going through your mind when that ball's coming to you?
Well, generally I'm still trying to figure out which way the return's going. That's the hardest part, because there's a lot of chaos, you know, we're out there. But just concentrating on catching it. So if you don't catch it, you can't run with it. So I'm always just figuring out if I'm going to have enough room, and just trying to make sure I get a secure grab on it.
Well, the Red Zone watched every big swing in momentum when the Cardinals special teams took to the field. Let's check out our favorites. Getting us started in the special teams moments of the year is the foot of Tyler Raschke, who was an all-CCIW selection as a punter and booted this one 70 yards against the University of Dubuque. This year, Nick Dace became the career leader in field goals and extra points, but his 41-yarder in the first round of the playoffs gave him the scoring record for points in a season. In the game against Carthage, the Red Men trying to punt, but Alex Tripp comes through with the block, and Kane Thompson scoops it up and rumbles 10 yards to the end zone for the touchdown. And the Red Zone's top moment on special teams for the 2011 season is Caleb Bednar's taking a punt return 80 yards to the house against Milliken, one of 2 punt returns for touchdowns on the season for the freshman. Coach, one of those special teams players that'll be returning next year is place kicker Nick Dace. What is it like having a special teams weapon like him on the field?
You know, Nick is only a sophomore, and so he's been our kicker for 2 years in a row now, and he keeps getting better each year, and he's working on technique all the time. We're trying to get him so he can just hit a little more square every single time, you know, and he's just done a great job for us. And then Kevin Loof is our kickoff guy, and he got tons better from freshman year to now. And then, of course, Tyler Raschke just had a fabulous year for us as a punter, and he's coming back next year. So those
the whole core's back.
Oh, gosh, I mean, they're having fun together.
Well, Nick Dace led the team in scoring, but that's because the offense, Joe, found the end zone a lot this year. What was working well for this offense, and what's going to continue to work with the guys that are coming back?
But Alex Tripp comes through with the block, and Kane Thompson scoops it up and rumbles 10 yards to the end zone for the touchdown.
And they allowed us to continually just kind of pummel people. You know, we really played a physical brand of football this year up front, and so that was the biggest difference. You know, we kept moving the chains, and with Nick and Jordan and Betcher and all those guys back there, they were breaking off long run after long run. So, you know, they were finding the end zone themselves pretty easily.
Nick Kukoc breaks the single-season rushing record for North Central, but you almost wish you could have 5 or 6 guys next to that name so you can get all the offensive linemen in there. They really paved the way for these running backs this year, didn't they?
Yeah, they did an awesome job, and it's been fun to see how different of a running back Nick's become since he's gotten here. When he was a freshman, I used to give him a really hard time for being a softie. He didn't like that. And now you can't say he's stiff-arming people like a big power back, and he did some awesome stuff. So, you know, those guys do a good job.
Well, the Red Zone didn't miss a point all season, and we put together our top 5 moments of the year right here. Wide receiver Baikaba starts off our top moments on offense with his first catch of the season, and he would turn it into a 68-yard dash to the end zone against Milliken. Next up is Tyler Dicken in his first start as a Cardinal, breaks onto the scene while breaking through the Augustana defense for a 42-yard score. Jordan Tassio showed his scoring ability against the Red Men of Carthage, running through the heart of the defense for an 80-yard touchdown, the third longest rushing touchdown in Cardinal history. Kyle Fedorowicz led the Cardinals in receptions and receiving touchdowns, none longer than this 49-yard catch and run against Milliken. And the Red Zone's top moment on offense is Nick Kukoc setting a new single season for rushing yards, adding 12 touchdowns, highlighted by this 69-yard scamper against North Park.
Coach, one of the big plays this year was whenever the ball was in the hands of Kyle Fedorowicz. What did the big tight end mean to this offense?
It's going to be hard to replace him. He was an awesome blocker. He caught lots of tough catches in the middle of the field, which forced the defense to, keep crowded to the inside. I think it helped open up some of the stuff for our wider receivers.
Right.
I think as our quarterbacks get more experience and so forth, we had a great core of wide receivers, and really we didn't get a chance to get the ball to them as much as we would have liked to, And so having Kyle there really did help make some things really simple for the quarterback position, and it helped our running game and so on. So replacing him is going to be very, very hard. It's hard to, especially in D3, get a guy that's that huge and
6'7" going up for balls.
Yeah.
Well, don't go anywhere, because after the break, we will wrap up the football season right here on the Red Zone.